So, why can't I come with you?
I've told you already, Cape Cuckoo isn't safe for
Henry
you.
Moss and the Wormhole Conspiracy is a coming-of-age adventure set in a goofy galaxy of oddball characters, ridiculous conundrums and cosmic evil. Wander, ponder and laugh your way through a heartfelt exploration of independence, family and growing up. Teen Earthling Henry Moss helps his mother Seren operate Moss Family Supplies, an interstellar delivery business servicing the outer worlds. Henry longs to break free of his domestic duties to seek his fortune and fame amongst the far stars. Together, the Mosses uncover a cosmic conspiracy overseen by the sinister Benedict Wormhole. This sets the Mosses on an interplanetary journey of compassion, exploration and self-discovery, together fulfilling a secret legacy founded a generation ago.
I've really tried to capture that classic point-and-click adventure experience that so many people love, but bring to it a modern twist. Multiple solutions to problems, a dynamic soundtrack, unique mechanics, and with the family audience in mind the whole way through. It's a story about coming of age and a family relationship, and a modern family at that. This is a game that will really appeal to people that grew up with these games, and if they've got kids of their own, then can hopefully share that joy with them too.
Hello, my name is Ben Looms. I am the CEO and Creative Director of Sirenscape. What are we going to be talking about today? We are going to discuss why music and sound at the gaming table. What does it do? How does it do it? I will show you prepping for running a session using Sirenscape and the online player, our tool for running your games remotely in combination with any virtual tabletop. We will do a bit of a deep dive into some sound design questions, how it works, and how you can do it yourself. And members of the Sirenscape team will be in chat, ready to answer your questions and chat and say hi and enjoy. Fantastic. That's what we'll be doing. First, a couple of intros. In case you've lived under a rock for the last few years, what is Sirenscape? Sirenscape is the app that brings immersive music and sound to your tabletop games. It's not a 15-minute looped recording, but a fully algorithmic, randomized, beautifully generated, completely customizable soundboard, completely ready to go and to be usable in your tabletop games. It's been specifically designed by me, an avid Dungeons and Dragons player, designed for you to use at your table to keep as much attention of that Dungeon Master on the game as possible and to keep the attention of your players on the game as well. It helps to focus emotions and tension and focus the attention on the game so that lots of fun can be had. Awesome. That's Sirenscape. You'll see a lot more of Sirenscape in this talk and a lot of really useful information about how music plays, how music activates emotions, how music and sound trigger feelings of unease and joy and exhilaration and disgust and horror and tension and all that sort of stuff. Awesome. A little bit of intro about me. As I said, my name is Ben Looms. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was about 10, when I received the red box on holidays at Smiths Lake. Fantastic camping holiday we used to do every single year. That red box was just extraordinary. You had to color in the dice with crayon so that the crayon would get into the grooves of the dice so you could actually see them. See the numbers. It was awesome. The illustrations were amazing, blew my tiny mind. I played a lot of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons all through my youth. Once I left school, I studied composition at the University of Sydney. Sydney's Australia's most prestigious university, but then I'd say that, wouldn't I, because I went there. Fantastic, studying with composers like Peter Sculthorpe, Ross Edwards, Anne Boyd, some of Australia's greatest composers. I worked professionally as a classical singer, singing in the chorus of Opera Australia a lot, and singing lots of lead roles with smaller companies. I am a pianist and a cellist and a bit of a recorder player and all sorts of things. And an amateur programmer on the side. My career was sort of this strange combination of different factors coming together to make this perfect storm and to make Sirenscape. It's been a very, very wonderful and interesting journey. And it's really, really lots of fun, inspiring, meeting great people. Not getting to go to conferences this year, which is very, very sad. I'm missing hanging out with the fans and amazing gaming people, playing insanely late into the night and then exhibiting in the exhibit hall. So I'm glad at least we can all be together this way. And say hi in the chat if you haven't said already. Tell us where you're from, where you are now, how you're doing, and we'll chat and engage in the chat on Twitch and really enjoy doing that. Awesome. How did Sirenscape get invented is another question. The last thing I'll do before we get stuck into these really interesting musical kind of things. Sirenscape was a result of me playing at the gaming table as a composer. I kind of expected and enjoyed the music that you would get in film, and it kind of felt a bit strange for me to have silence at the gaming table. I started making recordings for myself. 15-minute kind of looped recording that would go round and round end to end nice and smoothly. And I would chuck some sounds in there, a bit of music, a bit of atmosphere. And that was all really good, except it was not customizable, so you couldn't turn the rain on if you suddenly decided that it was going to be raining, and you couldn't turn off particular sounds if they were too loud or wrong for a particular scene. But it was all right. It was still doing pretty good jobs until I had a medieval town recording, and my players had started to notice a certain pattern that came around quite regularly in that recording. In fact, they'd been in town negotiating for way longer than they were supposed to about exactly where they were going and how much gold they were going to be paid, like typical players. And there was this pattern, this oh. And after about the fifth time this came around in this recording, they literally stopped the game, and all of them together with the recording went, oh. So rather than the sound bringing my players into immersion and making them feel like they were really in an environment, it was actually taking them out of immersion, breaking the fourth wall and making them feel like, they were listening to recording. So I started to try and make my recordings longer, which meant in dragging more and more sounds into my sound editor and trying to distribute them and mix them and set them at different values and all that sort of stuff and volumes. It eventually occurred to me that this is the sort of thing that a computer could actually do reasonably well. A computer might be able to pick random samples, put them in a random direction, apply the appropriate amount of reverb depending on how far away they were, balance them, mix them, and deliver them, and do this continuously. So, as an amateur programmer, I grabbed Python, which some of you may have heard of, got a few kind of really rich media plugins and got that going and wrote myself a fairly dodgy version of Sirenscape, maybe 11 or 12 years ago now, and I shared that online as donationware after I'd been using it myself for a while, and people loved it, which is really, really cool. If you use the Wayback Machine, you can go and see what the Sirenscape website looked like many, many years ago, and and see what it was like. You can even see some really, really old forum posts for some of those forums that still exist. I was doing an opera project at the time where I was conducting and composing. We were creating operas from scratch with amazing groups of young people, which was incredible. And the entrepreneur who was running that had a business background in tech. And people were asking for Sirenscape on iOS and more material and how was I going to do it. And I actually literally approached my entrepreneur friend and artistic backer for a business contact, for someone, in fact, a programming contact, for someone who could write in Objective-C, which is a bit of a frightening language to write in. And he was kind of like, what's this thing? Tell me about it. And before I knew it, I was, writing business proposals and doing analyses of the market and the size of it and all that sort of stuff. And then, one thing led to another. He put in a whole lot of money, I put in a whole lot of time, and here we are with this amazing career that I've got, building sound and traveling around the world. I was to meet all you wonderful people, which was which was amazing, and will be amazing again in the future. But at least we can be together like this. So yeah, say hi once again. Say hi in the chat. Ask questions, and we'll endeavour to answer them as best we can. Cool. So once more, what are we doing today? After all those intros, why music and sound at the gaming table? What does it do? How does it do it? I'll show you a really interesting and cool prep. I'm going to pretend that I have basically completely forgotten to prepare the sounds for the session that I'm going to have to run, and you can watch me do that live in front of you. I'll be talking about sound design, how it works, and how you can do it yourself. And yes, answering questions in the chat. There'll be Sirenscape team people in the chat. I recommend you listen on headphones to this, because then you'll be able to get the full rich experience of Sirenscape's wonderful, wonderful, rich sound. Right, I'm going to pause my Dropbox so I don't end up syncing things and slowing down this. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to bring up our wonderful music we wrote for the Catan board game. And I'm going to bring up the text of one of my favorite adventures. One of the funnest, fantastic times we had was running Forest Oracle, famous for its excellent boxed text. A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a travelling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. Excellent. Right, I'm going to bring up this music instead. A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a travelling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. So cool. Okay, what about this one? Excellent. Okay. A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a travelling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. Okay, what about this one? Oops, wrong one. This one. Here we are. A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a travelling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. Okay, what about this one? A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a travelling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. So, what does music do? Why does it make that scene change so dramatically? The music is able to completely reinterpret everything that I'm imagining in my imagination. The music elicits an involuntary, automatic emotional response. It works subliminally. That is, we don't think, oh gosh, that drummer just did a cheerful rim shot. Everything must be well, and those people are lovely. And we don't think, oh no, there's a minor ninth. I'm suspicious. But we do react automatically to those emotional cues. The music develops the characters and connects emotions and ideas together. Wagner fully developed the concept of the leitmotif in his own music. It wasn't his original idea, but he really explored and extended this concept richly in his operas. The leitmotif is a recurrent theme throughout a musical or literary composition associated with a particular person, idea, or situation. So it's a recurring, in this case, musical idea that becomes associated with a particular person or an idea or a situation. So, what about this leitmotif? Excellent. So I can instantly see the situation. James Bond has just done something very, very awesome, like he's been struggling in a bathtub with the baddie. He manages to plunge out, and there's a bar heater right there. He grabs it and plunges it in the water and electrocutes the baddie. Or he's just done a particularly irresponsible maneuver in a car. Excellent. I can actually see the James Bond that is the James Bond that I sympathize with. I can see what his suit looks like. I can imagine how he walks. I know what his voice sounds like, how cool he is. All of that elicited by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. Only 7 notes. Not even with the original arrangement. This is a resynthesis of that little motif that I did myself, so we don't get a copyright strike. Excellent. What about this one? Awesome. This says to me brotherhood, loyalty, epic, heroic acts, sort of safety and strength and danger being faced. This leitmotif comes to its full fruition as the Fellowship crests over the top of the mountain as they're leaving Rivendell, I think it is. And of course, they're in slow motion. My PCs always walk in slow motion when they're kind of, returning back to town carrying the head of the ogre or something like that. Awesome. So the score of The Lord of the Rings is rich with leitmotifs, including this one. Awesome. That says, happiness and good food and everything that's worth saving in life. There's a big chunk of the beginning of the Lord of the Rings films devoted to establishing why everything's being fought for. And the same actually in the books themselves. Is little use getting straight into the strife and the monsters and the danger without having some sense that there's something worth fighting for. And this leitmotif is, all the leitmotifs are used extremely interestingly. This one, you may remember, is used at the very end of the film when the two hobbits, Sam and Frodo, are on the side of the mountain and hot lava is trying to fry them. And you just get this leitmotif reappearing in a horrible context with a different orchestration, and it kind of makes you feel longing for the home that they've lost and the comfort that they've lost. And it's quite extraordinary use. So a leitmotif can actually be recontextualized into another setting so that it gains a new layer of meaning, which is super cool. Okay, one more leitmotif. Isn't that amazing? Wow. I mean, if you're in the water and you hear that, or you even imagine it or start thinking about it, it makes you want to get out so you don't get eaten by a shark. Only 2 notes. Da-dum, da-dum-dum. But that leitmotif is associated very effectively by John Williams with, the horror of submarine danger and teeth. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I would argue, if you are using only the color of your voice and the descriptive power of your words to paint your scenes, then you are missing out on a whole wealth of potential, a potential for immersion and emotion that's been realized in movies for decades. This is not a new concept, using music to cue emotion, connect ideas, enrichen what the words by themselves are evoking. But wait, there is more, of course. Movies do not use only music. The director of Bride of Frankenstein, a film that did all right, James Whale said, "Lock yourself in a windowless room alone, turn out the light, and put your radio on in such a way that all you get is screams and moans and unearthly noises produced by static. Unless you are a rare exception, you will very hastily switch on the light, fully expecting to see some terrifying intruder in the empty room with you." So there's unearthly sounds of a detuned radio evoke terror and dislocation and inhumanity and up-and-coming director George Lucas says, "The sound and music are 50% of the entertainment in a movie." Wow, 50%. This is a director who obviously focuses not almost exclusively, but a lot on the image and the way the words are being delivered and the expressions on the actors and the lighting and all this stuff. And he's saying 50% of the entertainment in a movie is the sound and music. That's a pretty heavy claim, isn't it? Remember to be asking questions in the chat. There's Sirenscape people there and friendly people hanging out who can discuss this stuff. Say hi, let us know how you are. Let us know where you are. And ask questions and share your ideas as well. Right. Sounds can also elicit responses too. So I've argued that, and now I'm going to prove it. I'm going to bring up the Sirenscape element library. So here we are. Here's a red dragon roar already available. Excellent. I like this particular dragon quite a lot because it's sourced from my own voice, so I'm very proud of how manly I sound. So that kind of sample started with like kind of, but after the wonders of pitch shifting and formant shifting and EQing and layering, it sounds very, very epic indeed. Right, any large larynxed creature. You know, this is the larynx, the thing that produces the vocal noises. It's going to have a big mouth with big teeth. It's going to have large muscles, and will create an automatic, involuntary, irresistible fight or flight response in the human being. So just hearing this sound at some deep evolutionary level is going to make the Homo sapien feel uncomfortable, excited, activated. The digestion shuts down a bit. The pupils dilate to get light in. The muscles become twitch responsive. So that's sound as a leitmotif. Okay, what about this one? Skittering spiders. So I'm just searching in the Sirenscape element library here in the online player. Yes. Not big things this time, but tiny little things. Tiny little hairy things that get up inside your clothing, and if you're in Australia, they almost certainly kill you. Once again, a irresistible reaction. Especially with headphones. Stick on headphones if you're listening and you haven't got them yet. What about this one? It's a warmer feeling, isn't it? A safe feeling, a secure feeling, a source of warmth and cooked food, probably tended by someone kind. This isn't, for instance, the sound of a roaring, aggressive bonfire, or a house fire, or a building fire, or whatever, or a forest fire, which could spell doom. This is distinctly the sound of a fire in a hearth. Okay. What about this one? Isn't that cute? Oh, so a creature with a tiny little larynx. It couldn't hurt you, really. I mean, it could probably hurt your washing if it got into that. So it makes you smile, doesn't it? Makes you feel amused, makes you feel tender and like you want to care for it. Involuntarily, yeah? It just happens automatically. Okay, what about this? I love this one. Whoa. So we all know what that means, hey? Something very big, quite a long way away. Probably coming this way. If you've seen Jurassic Park, then it's a T-Rex, and you can even imagine, it brings to mind the image for me automatically of that glass of water in the plastic cup with the vibration rings showing on it. Terrible things. And one more. So that sound could almost happen subliminally, pretty easily, and automatically the players, as well as the player characters, would be ill at ease and expecting calamity. What about this one? So, not so subtle, that one. That one's not going to go unnoticed at the table, but will certainly, once again, elicit a series of visions and sights in my brain about what I'm seeing, about what danger there is, flying splinters, sharp nails, catastrophe, sadness, all without having to describe anything all these things are. I just trigger those sounds and automatically the players are immersed in the story and can see the situation. Cool. Right. Just a couple more. Whoops. Okay, right. when you come to cast Fireball, just imagine this. It comes around your turn as a player. You say, okay, I cast Fireball. Hang on, I'll just grab my dice. And people are like, yeah, good, it'll be good. It'll be good to cast Fireball. Just hang on, I'll grab some dice. Excellent. That's, I'm adding up, 11, 15, 17 hit points damage for a failed save. Or I can do that same thing. I cast Fireball and either Dungeon Master just quickly brings it up in the element library or the player triggers their shortcut link that the Dungeon Master has given to them. So I guess I don't even have to say I cast Fireball. I just touch that while I collect my dice. Awesome. I can say 13 hit points. I rolled worse with the sound. That's sad. 13 hit points damage on a failed save. That's a terrible roll. Or it comes to a cleric's turn, and rather than just sort of saying, oh, all right, okay, I heal you, the player raises their hands, looks to the heavens, and everyone knows that they're going to be healed. All those little magical elements to the sound kind of evokes imagery and awesomeness. Cool. Okay. So that is the power of music and sound at the gaming table. I hope I've convinced you. If I haven't, argue with us in the chat and we'll discuss it. How do I do that? And how do I, more importantly, do it in a way that creates immersion for my players and doesn't distract me as a dungeon master or a game master? Super, super important. Just a channel ID. I am Ben Looms. I'm the CEO of Sirenscape, and I'm talking about immersion and how to use. I'm using the Sirenscape online player. This is our tool which we built, which is compatible with virtual tabletops. You can transmit the sounds to your players. So we are hearing this little app here, Sirenscape online player. I'm controlling it from a browser window, just in Chrome, and whoever of my friends, is running the online player on their machine, on their phone, or anything will also be hearing those sounds playing. That's how it works. You control the sounds from a browser window in Chrome, and then each of your friends, wherever they are, I did it again, I keep making my window disappear, runs an online player and they all hear the sounds. Must be a Windows thing where you grab the window and shake it and it comes into the foreground. That's really cool. I didn't know about that. Awesome. Right. Here's a quick demo of how you can do this for yourself using the Sirenscape online player. Oh, damn, said the Dungeon Master. I forgot to do any sound prep at all for the game that's happening this evening. This is all going to have to be done right now in front of these people who are watching. So, awesome. How quickly and easily can I get this done? And if I gloss over things or use terminology that is not clear, ask in the chat, ask in the chat, ask in the chat. Keep that chat going. Right, in the game tonight, the first scene is in a mysteriously, slightly foreboding elven village. And I know there's some lovely music in Undermountain Forest, which is really, really lovely. So I'm going to use this as my home. This sound set as my place where I'm going to store all the sounds for tonight's game. So the first thing I'm going to do is just simply duplicate that sound set. The one you're seeing at the moment is the official version of Undermountain Forest and can't be edited. This version, Undermountain Forest Custom 1, is my version. And I can do anything I like with it at all. So I'm going to call it Friday's Game. Bink. And that means I can find it again easily by searching. And you'll see me do that quite a few times. So meanwhile, my players are still messing about trying to work out how many spells they'd actually used last session and lie about it so that they're, pretty much ready to go almost at full power, even though they shouldn't be. So while they're doing that and messing about or even reconstructing their characters because they've forgotten to bring their character sheet completely, I'm going to search for some things to add into this because it's not quite complete yet. I've been playing Dragon Heist recently. And I happen to have noted the name of the battle music, which is in that, which is very, very, very cool. D&D battle music it was called. So I'm going to add that in. I just search in the element library and go plus, and that gets added into my lot of elements. Here I am using terminology. An element is a single aspect of the sound design. A bit of music, or the wind sound, or the roaring of a monster, or the bears in the distance, or the hot day insects. Okay, that's what an element is, and I just added myself some cool Dungeons and Dragons music. I also remember that Avernus, Descent into Avernus, came out recently from Sirenscape, and there's apparently some like really cool sort of heavy metal type music. So I'm gonna have a look in here, like kind of rock music, which might be good for some of my encounters when things get really tense. Here we are, Avernus rock music. Okay, so there's the music element, which plays the rock music. I'm going to copy that into my Friday's game. I'm going to hit copy, and that's copying that element into that Friday's game sound set. They're probably going to end up in a swamp at some point if they actually ever finish negotiating with the elves. So I'm going to just search for swamp. Over here, it says there's a swamp sound set. Excellent. A sound set is a complete set of elements and the moods that run them. What a mood does is it starts certain elements and sets them to a certain volume. That's all a mood does. There's an oppressive heat. I just might copy that completely. Copy to sound set. It's already auto-filled Friday's game because that's where I copied the element to before. And that's copying all the elements needed to make the sound of the oppressive heat. And you'll see that working later. Awesome. And I know there's probably going to be a lizard folk battle. Lizard folk. Are there lizard folk anywhere in Sirenscape? Oh, maybe I need to not have space. Because there we are. Right, so Ghost of Saltmarsh has a mood with the word lizard folk in it. That's interesting. I'm going to search lizard folk battle. There we are. Awesome. So I'm going to copy that mood as well. Copy. And that does that. Awesome. Good. That's the prep. I'm all done. I'm all ready. My players are now ready for the game. So I'm going to go back to my Friday's game. And let's see what I've got here. Yep, there's my oppressive heat mood and my lizard folk. I'm going to trigger this night because that's got the inner forest music, which I really, really, really love. Beautiful. The inner forest element starts, and I'm going to narrate where we were up to in the adventure using Forest Oracle again because I really love it. The front door is not locked. The sound of gentle breathing comes from inside. When the door is open, sunlight illuminates the room. A young man sleeps on the bed. The room is furnished with 2 wooden chairs, a table, a couch, pantry, bed, chest, and a stack of firewood for the fireplace. I look down in the text just below this box text. So before you ask, it says, the fireplace has no secret compartments. Which seems to me like a rather peculiar thing to mention specifically. It doesn't actually specify, but I'm presuming the 2 wooden chairs also don't have a secret compartment, nor do the table, the couch, the pantry, the bed, the chest, or the stack of firewood. I love Forest Oracle so much, it's so cool. Right, eventually they leave and go to the swamp, and here's that mood that I talked about. This mood starts these elements and sets them to all their particular volumes so that the balance is just beautiful. The party starts discussing splitting the party, and the sorcerer says, I'm going to cast message. Okay, so while they're just checking the rules of message and how many words they can do, I type message into the element library, and I just touch. Beautiful. What message do you send? He says, he sends the message, don't split the party or the DM will hate us. Right, I do hate them, and I tell them that you're attacked by lizard folk, so I just trigger that, and that starts all the elements required for the lizard folk battle, and I'm going to add in my awesome D&D battle music. Isn't that excellent? Good. I remember there are bugbears as well. The bugbear overlords are controlling the lizard folk, I forgot. So I'm going to type in bugbear And I'm going to turn on battle cries and hoots and hisses and curses and more curses. Excellent. So I've got those things running just from wherever I started them. Awesome. And I'm going to just save that entire mood. Save current state, so whatever's playing at the moment, as my battle. And that'll actually copy in the necessary elements, the additional ones. There we are. And they're running now. And I have a mood that I can come back to later if I need to. Good. Ask questions if you need to. Now, ask the questions. It goes back to the swamp. I'm actually going to change the name of this mood to swamp so it doesn't look so weird. Excellent. Oh, did you get poisoned? How sad. Don't talk about splitting the party again. The cleric is going to cast restoration, so I quickly type in restoration into the element library, which brings up lesser restoration, which I just touch while they're talking about what gets healed. You saw me cast a cure spell, so there's sounds for sort of minor cures like this one. And sort of they get more and more major as they go along. If you don't find a particular spell, you can actually just instead type in the level. And if it's a first level spell, it will sound quite minor. Or if it's, say, 7th level, they sound more and more and more and more epic as they go along. Excellent. This is all happening live. Obviously spread out quite a lot more than I'm having to do, but you'll see how little attention it actually takes. Okay, the PCs finally reach the home base of the lizard folk and they attack with almost no distant planning of any kind. So I trigger my mood from before, my battle, and that restarts that music. I'm going to turn off this music and turn on instead the awesome Avernus rock music, which is so cool. And this time I'm going to add in a green dragon because it serves them right. There's a breath weapon one shot, which I can trigger when it breathes, and that green dragon roar. Okay, so I'm going to start those. There's green dragon roar. Green dragon breathe, so I just touch that. Awesome, that kills one of the PCs. So I'm going to trigger a Wilhelm scream. One of them rolls a 1 on their death save. So it's that trombone. But eventually, will we let them succeed? I'm going to push the swamp down again and trigger a victory sting for them. So there you go. That's that's me prepping and running a game in front of you. And that's how easy it is. And I made that tool for me, so it would be easy for me, and so I could concentrate quickly and easily find the things I need. And yeah, look, we're working on making search and things like that even smoother, and finding things and organizing things. Awesome. Ask questions now in the chat. Meanwhile, I'm going to answer some of the questions that people have asked in the past when I do this seminar. So yeah, can I use Sirenscape in my stream is one of the questions that people ask frequently. Yes, we made Sirenscape specifically available to people making podcasts and YouTube videos and streams on Twitch. It's all original content or Creative Commons attribution samples, some of them. If you go to our FAQ page, search for Sirenscape FAQ, you'll be able to find all the info you need specifically about getting started with us. And we love to connect with people who are streaming and using Sirenscape. And yeah, we love sharing tweets and things and giving your program a boost when we are able. Yes. Who needs to pay to run a remote game is another question, which is very, very important. Right. To unlock remote play, the Dungeon Master needs a Super Siren subscription, and the players just need a normal registered account and they don't need to pay anything at all. How do I get started if I am interested is another very important question. How do I get started? What do you need to do now? If you're interested in giving Sirenscape a go, just go to the Sirenscape.com website and download the Fantasy Player, which is kind of an offline version. You can download content with the internet and then play it without the internet later. You don't even have to actually register an account or anything to use that. You can just say, not now, don't even sign in, and that comes with 10 free sound sets. The Red Dragon that you heard, a medieval town, the Bugbear Battle that you saw me using, storm sounds with lovely thunder and rain. So very, very useful. There's also the Sci-Fi Player, which you can also use without registering at all, and it comes with 10 free sound sets as well, including some really, really cool cyberpunk content. So yes, once you've done that, then you can buy content one by one. So you could buy the Swamp sound set and use that at your table. And then, there's subscription levels to unlock the entire back catalogue. The Super Sirens subscription gives you access to everything Sirenscape. And what's cool with the Sirenscape subscription, which is not quite normal, is that everything that is released newly and freshly during the period of your active subscription, you actually gain permanent ownership of as if you've just bought it. So if we release the Swamp sound set while you're a subscriber, you now own it. So if for some reason you have to stop your subscription, you're not left without any content at all, but you're left with a lovely library of stuff you collected during your active sub. Cool. We have licenses with Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Cyberpunk Red, Call of Cthulhu. The Cthulhu stuff is super, super, super cool. It's wonderful to be supporting the Dungeons and Dragons adventures, including Dragon Heist, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I can talk about Rime of the Frost Maiden, and there's some really, really other cool content coming soon as well. Yes, keep asking questions. I'm just about running out of time. It was lovely to spend this time with you. Thank you for being with us. I'm going to play some random content and enter the chat. So I can continue to chat with you and answer questions and interact and really enjoy, being a part of PAX. It is sad not to be with you all. Last PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, I played the game 10 Candles. Jason Bullman game mastered that game, and it was it was like a mountaintop experience in terms of role playing. It was absolutely incredible. We played from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. and then had to man the stand during the day, which was kind of insane. But that's what cons are all about, and that's why I'm sad I'm not there. And looking forward to being back with you all again. Continue to ask questions. We have a little bit of time left, so while I play some cool music, we can answer those questions and connect with you in other ways. Yes. And remember, if you ever have any support requests, go to email support@sirenscape.com. There's a lovely team of support people who can answer your questions, including me, as quickly as possible. We are going to be releasing some cool stuff on our new Twitch channel. So go to twitch.tv/Sirenscape if you've got a moment and just hit follow so you can see those excellent stuffs as they appear. I have been Benjamin Looms. And I've enjoyed spending this time with you, and I hope to see you at a con soon. Do make sure you come to the Sirenscape stand and shake our hands if we're ever able to do that again. Excellent. Miss you all. Game on, most importantly, and even more importantly than that, sort of do it in the most noisy way you possibly can. Awesome. See you. Enjoy the show. Right. Some sounds.
if we must.
Welcome, prepare to die. Yes. Oh, I'm really angry. Funny, I don't feel any stronger. Maybe because I'm always angry. I'm always on top condition. Stands to reason. I'm a monster. Are you going to try to kill me? Didn't think so. Go kill some goblins or something. On second thought, goblins aren't monsters, they're people. So maybe you should call yourself a people killer.
This is Kevin from Treasure Games. I'll give you a quick introduction to our game, Hamster Scramble. Hamster Scramble is a brand new between two genres, a platformer and a match 3 game. It's separated into two distinct sections, the puzzle boards above and the platforming stage below. Most puzzle games, you just have the game board and pieces at it from a static location. In Hamster Scramble, however, you have full control over a character stage below. It is also here that the hamsters will scramble. The hamsters enter the top of the stage via pipes running up the sides of the area and look up when they reach the bottom. In order to make matches on the puzzle board, players will chase down and catch the hamsters. Each hamster has a color, and caught, the ball of the same color carried by the player. The player can aim and throw the ball at the board to try and make matches. Making matches sends orbs at the opponent's board, setting up a meter that adds a line when ball, pushing the opponent's board downward. If a player's board hits a center line, they lose. Platforming and puzzles themselves are straightforward, so I'll skip to the first part, swapping. In Hamster Scramble, making matches isn't the only way to attack your opponent. Players also have the ability to swap into their opponent's side of the stage for a limited time. While there, you can harass your opponent and disrupt their game plan by throwing at their board, stealing their hamsters for yourself, or straight up finishing them off. Players can defend them from an invading opponent by attacking, knock their hamsters out of their hands, and stun them for a short time. Finding the right times and positions to swap is key to get the most out of it. Each stage in Hamster Scramble has its own unique look, platform layout, and mechanics, such as slippery ice platforms and bubbles that catch hamsters and carry them upward. Players have to adjust their strategies depending on which stage they're playing in. Our demo here at PAX Online, up to 4 players can enjoy local and online player in 4 of the game's stages. There's also the village to explore, and a taste of the game's single-player content as well. So please try out the game and have a great time at PAX Online.
Simulator versus the Bombardier. Viewer event, Spin Doctor. Viewer event incoming. Room complete. Viewer event incoming. Viewer event incoming. Room complete. The boss approaches. Room incoming. Entering the cell block. Trap kill. Room complete. Kill. Room complete. Viewer event incoming. Viewer event incoming. Viewer event, Spin Doctor. Room complete. Room complete. Viewer event nuked. Room complete. Room complete. Victory.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into my panel in this unique circumstance. This is the Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3 speedrun. I'm sort of used to doing this in front of an audience, and this is obviously going to be pre-taped. And like part of the excitement of doing it live is, you know, you get to see mistakes. It's not guaranteed it's going to be a perfect run. So to sort of offset that, this is going to be just a one recording session. There's not going to be any scenario where I make a mistake and, oh, let me reset the game. Let me stop the recording. This is just one long take, mistakes and all. So we'll see how it goes. So thank you again for tuning in. And I should preface this with, I am not a professional speedrunner. I am very, very much an amateur speedrun. This is something I do for fun. So please set your expectations low, and then you won't be that disappointed by me. So let's get started. Good, my timer is going. Can't forget that. Turn that off. Oh, all right. Good start. I can pick up that ore before it hits the ground. Things are going good. If I was a professional speedrunner, I'd be swapping between Toad and Luigi, because they are the fastest characters in the game. But, like I said, I'm very, very, very amateur, so I picked Princess, because she's really easy. I live on a busy street. I wonder if the sound of the cars are being picked up. I'm seeing activity on my mic when they drive by, so we'll see. Oh, that's so loud. Get it? Oops. It's also very hot. I had to shut off my air conditioner to do this, so that noise is in the background. Oh, no time for water. I know how to play this game. That little segment right there is my favorite part of the game. because it looks visually impressive and it's really easy to do. At this point, we're about halfway through the game, level-wise. I wish I could say we're halfway through the time, but we're not halfway through the time. Run, get in! Drink water. Stay hydrated. My fingers all wet. Leap of faith! Made it. Made it. Leap of faith! Made it. We're good. Oh, and that right there is the hardest level in the game. Oops. Alright, so that's the one that I can't pick up from the air. But it's one of the faster birdos, so it all balances out. Oops, 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 oops. Get out of my way. Get out of the way. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Alright, well. Alright. We're okay. We're good. Alright, I forgot to say in the beginning. Anytime you see me get hit, it's intentional. And it's to save time for some reason. So that hit was intentional. Going really well. Whoops! Oh, don't you dare! There we go. Huh? 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 And he respawns, but it doesn't matter. Hey, look at that. Last level of the game. Do some jumpies. Alright. Climbing up this next chain, I have to glitch into the wall, jump from the wall, and go up into the ceiling where you're not supposed to be. There we go. Second try, not bad. From the time that you walk into the wall to the time that you jump, you have 3 frames to jump and make the jump successfully. And when you do that, the birdo automatically drops this key. So that's one less enemy we have to beat. And if I'm lucky, got him twice. Ah! Alright, last boss. Oh! Bad start. Alright. That's 2. 3. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. 4. 5. One more hit. 6. Time officially stops when I enter the last door and lose control of my character. Oh. 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So I mean, not world record setting, but that's not bad, right? Please validate me, internet. I can't see it, this is pre-recorded. Am I in the chat right now? I should be in the chat right now. Please validate me, internet. So anyways, that's Super Mario Bros. 2. Abridged. Excuse me 1 second, I have to keep notes of my time so I know when I do good. That actually wasn't that bad. That was actually really good compared to all my practice times. Of course, if you look at records of like princess only runs, it's like 8 to 9 minutes, so it's not good on that scale, but for me, it's not bad. Anyways, I guess we should just go ahead and move on to Mario 3. Let's, whoops, clear the timer. Super Mario Bros. 3. I've got a wireless keyboard sitting in my lap just so I can hit the space bar to start and stop the timer. There we go. And we want to avoid getting a star, which we didn't. Because obviously anyone who's played this game knows when you get 3 similar items, there's this big fanfare and you get a bunch of extra lives. And the whole point is for me to not get 3 of the same, because that's just a waste of time. Get a bunch of lives that hopefully I won't need. So let's try it again. No star! Alright. And I won't play a 3rd standard level for quite some time, so I gotta remember when I get to the next level. Oh, make it! Oops, oops, make it, make it! Don't face that way. Go that way. Alright, 1 of 2 warp whistles. Fun story, when I did this panel at PAX South 2019, I don't know what I was thinking. I got that first whistle, and then I just used it. And I just sat on the warp screen for a few seconds and was like, this isn't right. So I had to reset the game in front of everybody. That was embarrassing. And the best part is that was one of the times that PAX had streamed it. So if you look at PAX 2, which I think this one is being streamed to as well, and look up that, you can see my mistake and me have to reset the game, and never did that again. So hey, look at that, 2.5 minutes in, and we're on the 8th world. Which is nice, but unfortunately the 8th world, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just kind of have to go through it. And double, unfortunately, is it has 4 of these auto-scrolling levels that there's nothing you can do to make them go by any faster, you just gotta ride them out. So this first one, it's probably the worst one. It is the longest. It's going to add about 1 minute and 45 seconds, just because there's nothing you can do. Nothing can be done. You just hang out and monkey about. Don't get hit. Whenever I'm practicing this, I think of, you know, the verbiage I'm gonna say in my head. So I have like a, you know, rough idea of things to say in front of an audience. And every time I practice, I say that, you know, these auto-scrolling levels are nice because they're nice and easy, because there's no like deviating in the path and everything like that. And every time I end up getting hit and hurting myself. So I try to make it a point not to point out the easiness of it. But I think not pointing out the easiness negates that, right? So I shouldn't get hit, right? I didn't jinx myself. I think I'm okay, it's the end of the level. Fly backwards. So this fun level with the 3 boats, feels weird saying this, but when I used to play this game for fun, as if this isn't fun, it is, I promise. In between these boats here, I would actually jump into the water and swim under the boats, because you avoid all the enemies, you just avoid everything, and it makes the levels easier. And actually the first time I did this panel, I did the same thing. I swam under the boat. With this second boat, it's not too bad, but with the third boat, if you swim under it, it adds like 10 to 15 seconds to your time, because you have to wait for the entire second boat to pass through the screen and then jump on the back of it. So I was like, well, I should probably learn to play through this level as it is. Turns out, not that hard. I was doing extra stuff for nothing. Because when the boats go down all the way, you gotta really mash that A button to swim up. Because you're like pixels away from dying at the bottom of the screen. And if you tap too slow, you will die. Alright. Let's take a moment to pray to the RNG gods that they are kind to me on this run. Alright, did not pray hard enough. At the very least, those guys had a good setup. He didn't throw anything. Nope. Alright. Make it! That's not bad at all. So again, going back to my youth when I used to play this game for funsies. This level in particular used to... I don't want to say it scared me, but there was no possible way I could beat it. It's too hard. So I would have to beat the first world when I played the game, because that gives you the P-Wing, which gives you unlimited flight, and I would save it for this level, just so I could fly over it, because it's just way too hard. it was shortly after I got into speedrunning that, you know, I was like, alright, well, I should learn how to play it, so I don't have to beat the entire first level. That's 3 extra levels I'd have to beat just to beat this one. And then again, turns out this level, not that bad. It used to scare me as a kid because, as you saw, it was a lot of platforms, a lot of jumping, a lot of precision jumping. And for an auto-scrolling level, it moves faster than the other ones do. Just bumped my microphone. And so I was just, there's no way I could have beaten it. Then once you learn the pattern of the ships, they just kind of follow a waveform pattern. It makes it not that bad. Now this level, on the other hand, this is the one level that honestly makes me anxious to play. Because I have to make one jump, which I'm fairly new to doing. I used to do things a different way, and I'm trying things this new way, where I have to land on this red turtle shell, make those cannons fire, jump off the cannon, make that wide gap. And I have to not get a star here. Don't get a star, don't get a star. Alright. It's the one rule. Whatever you do, just don't get a star, don't get a star. In the dozen or so times I've held this panel, it's the first time it's ever happened. Oh, it makes me giggly. Anyway, I like this level. It's nice and easy and nice and short. Oh, now... Oh, this game. One last story is going back further into my youth. I used to beat the second world, because that gives you an item that allows you to skip any level that you want, and I used to skip this castle because I couldn't figure out how to beat it. This castle is basically 2 hallways running parallel to each other, and they're connected by all these doors, and you just gotta know which doors to go through at what time, and you have to exit through a secret door, but not that secret door, that secret door. And then you do this. And I do have an extra leaf. I could take the hit and then make it across faster. Oh! Oh, I stopped ducking. It's gonna go through this big thing about how I didn't want to do that, and then I ended up doing that. Silly, silly me. Last auto-scrolling level. I mean, second to last level in the game, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. This one is actually kind of interesting because the game itself, it sort of expects you to play like in this area, in the middle back of the screen. So if you watch all the cannons fire, they fire and they converge on that particular area of the screen. But if you just stay in the front like this once you sort of learn the level, you effectively avoid all the cannons, and the only thing you have to worry about are those wrench-throwing jerks. But once you learn where they are, it's no longer an issue. And last little mini-boss. Alright. I mean, while we've got him, we use the star here because Bowser's a jerk and he has those to steal your power-ups. Oh, make it! Made it. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Alright, there we go. Realistically, that only saves, if I do it right, probably about 4 or 5 seconds, but it sets me on the top of everything so I can get through that top door. Oops. Oops. Everything's fine. Come and get me. Come and get me. Whoa! Really? Alright, well. Oh man, it's 1-to-1. If he hits me once, I die. If I get him down here once, he dies. Alright. These fireballs make me nervous. Alright, once again, time officially stops when I enter the last door and lose control of the character. Wait for the fanfare. And there we go. 13 minutes and 23 seconds. Again, not too bad. When I was practicing, I had one time faster, but that was the time that I got none of those random levels. But hey, for having one of those random levels, 1323, I'll take it. And so that is Super Mario Bros. 3, abridged. So, I mean, let's see, I've been recording for 27 minutes at this point. They give us an hour for these panels, which, you know, obviously for a speedrun of 2 short games like this, you don't really need the full hour. Having said that, since I've got a little bit of extra time, and recording here in my home, it is much calmer than recording in front of a live audience, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch systems, and I'm going to do a speedrun that I've only been doing for like a month. So if you weren't impressed with these runs, you're not going to be impressed with this run. If you were impressed with these runs, you probably still won't be impressed with this run. But just because I have the time, just because it's going to be fun, why not throw a third game in there, right? Excuse me while I swap systems. So, I mean, what game am I going to play? Well, I mean, played Mario 2, Mario 3. Obviously, we're going to go with Super Mario Bros. 4, right? Except it's Mario World. Yeah, I know. Should be Super Mario Bros. 4. Let me erase. Empty, and on your mark, get set, go! So like I said, I've been doing this for a very short period of time, so this is going to be like a real rough run. I don't even want to call it a speed run. It's kind of a play the game fast. I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? I just want everyone's expectations to be nice and low. Please and thank you. Oops. Lost my momentum. That's alright. I'm gonna try not to go so quiet on this one, but this one, it makes me nervous to do. This is the first time it's being shown publicly. And it's not even in front of an audience. Whoops, didn't make it. So, I mean, like I said, we're about halfway through my allotted time space, and I like the idea of someone coming to this programming late and just being like really confused as to, I thought he was playing Mario 2 and 3. Why is he playing Super Mario World? I like the idea of confusing people and who show up late. Oh, why are there so many of these things? There's never been that many before. Alright, made it. Everything's fine. I know this game. Still trying to figure out the RNGs of, you know, what causes things to spawn and anything like that. That actually was intentional. Oh no, he didn't fall in! Oh no! Oh no! I lost my power but didn't fall in! What a jerk! Yep, sure, safe. Alright, to do this level properly, I need that. I've only done it properly once, but it was the last time I did it. Don't land on that! Oh, you jerk! There's so much going on! Oh. No, go up. Oops. Alright. This is just not... It's not in my favor. Holy smokes. Alright, so these guys are going to show up here. Yep. Let's kill that guy. Get the fireballs out of there. Kill that guy. There we go. Not how I wanted to do it, but I got there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Go away. All right. Up, make it! Okay. Up. I'm like nervous going into these levels because I'm like, which level is this? How do I beat this one? Okay, I remember now. Nice, easy, stress-free level. Bam, done. Alright. 1, 2, 3. 4. Not what I wanted to do, but okay. I want him big. Oh, there we go. You want to keep him small for as long as possible, because as you see when you're carrying an item underwater, you just fly through the water. I need this blue Yoshi. Nope. There we go. And get in. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. Grab the key, please. Yoshi, I beg you. Alright. That wasn't so bad. Oh my god! I don't know what it is about me in this level. I don't make jumps. Alright, excuse me 1 second. I have to go back and get that Yoshi. Because I really, really need him for that level. Eat the star. Get big immediately. Eat that. Remember when I said this one's still a work in progress? No! No! Excuse me. Alright, third time's charm, right? Alright. And the whole thing is to stay nice and low. Take that guy. I've messed up. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. I almost forgot. I need this blue guy. Because the red shell, he spits out his fireballs. But the blue guy, he'll do that. That's how we do that level-ish. And I'm going into Bowser's Castle with no power-up. Sure. I don't like that door. I want to go in this door. Oh, that's right. Alright, gotta time this just right. Oh, I think I started running too late. I should not have made that. But hey, I'll take it. Don't fall in the lava! Everything's good. Up. I feel like if I start running immediately, I might be able to make that, but... Ooh, that's a big risk. There we go, that was a much better run. Made it with time to spare. It was exactly the same, I know. Ah! See, I didn't say don't fall in the lava, so I fell in the lava. That's my problem. I am just burning through these lives. So this is not a speedrun of Mario World. This is a watch me play Mario World and try my best. Ooh! Oh no, I didn't do it! I started running too soon, and then I checked it out! Oh, this is disastrous! Oh. Alright. Once again, third time's a charm. I'm just gonna kill that guy and then long jump. Woo! There we go. That's roughly how that's supposed to go. Come get me. Boink. Give me that. Gimme. Nice. Up. No! Threw it too early. Now I just gotta throw 2 more balls at me. But on the plus side, I'll have one of those guys to start with during his 3rd phase. So, that's something. Clunk. Kick. Kick. Doink. What? There we go. That was weird. Doink. Time officially stops when Princess exits the thingy. Oh, 17 minutes and 24 seconds. I mean, I've had better times. Believe it or not, I've played this game and not died 6 times. But I've also had worse times. So it's a time. I guess that's Super Mario World abridged. Oh, pretty fireworks. But anyways, that is honestly all that I have for this panel. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it, at least entertaining. If it wasn't impressive, I hope you were entertained. Yeah, and stay safe out there, I guess, too. So thanks. Bye, everybody.